Hi everyone, welcome back to MEC-TEC. As you can see, we are in the wilds of Norfolk and we're at a Delorean meet. Now, today's job is going to be to lower Gary's car, stop it looking like a 4x4 and make it look a bit more like mine. Now, I'm not sure it's going to be quite as low as mine, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better. I think it drops it about 30 mil on the lowering springs. So we're going to be putting lowering springs and lower arms on to obviously bring it down to the right height and also to stiffen up the front suspension a little bit so it's a bit better going around bends. So I'll just show you there. Hopefully you can see the height difference between the two, between mine and Gary's. It is quite a big difference. You can get a fist in there sideways pretty much, and with mine, I mean mine is particularly low for some reason, but you can barely get any fingers in mine, so it's quite a big difference. So we're hoping to probably halve the height, I would have thought, of the front on this one with any luck, and obviously stiffen up the front suspension at the same time. So we're going to get set up and obviously we'll cut in and out and show you what we're doing and the progress we're making as we go along. Obviously in the car park, oh there we go, look, he's got the new springs. They're the new springs from, who are they from? Ed, or Aaron rather.
Aaron, yeah.
So they're Delorean Europe springs, I think they are, aren't they? Yeah. And we've got we've got new shocks as well.
New shocks as well.
Lovely. Blimey, it's going to handle like a new car.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, the top rubber mounts, yeah, for the springs.
New bushings as well for the sway bar as well. So just
new bushings for that as well, lovely. Yes. That's going to be really good then, yeah. So, as I say, we'll get set up and we'll show you how we get on as we go. Right, as you can see, car's up in the air. Dan, my old mate Dan, is underneath, ratchet in hand, nothing else, don't get any ideas. He's just undoing the anti-roll bar mounts because we're going to drop that down. So you can see the setup here. The anti-roll bar on these actually holds the lower arm in place, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. So the Delorean has open lower arms like that normally. The ones that we're putting back on this, Dan's actually welded plates on the bottom of them. So they're boxed in underneath, which makes them obviously a bit stiffer. We've got new shocks to go on, as you saw a minute ago. Top control arms have obviously got to come off. So yeah, we are progressing at a fair rate at the moment, so not sure what we're going to take off next. Possibly the top arms we're going to take off next, because then that will allow us to flap this out the way, and then we can get to the springs a bit easier and obviously get the lower arms off a bit easier. So we might have to take these calipers off and just hang them up somewhere at the back there out the way, just so that we can obviously get the hub off out the way, and that should be all good. So we'll cut back in when we've done a bit more progress.
Well, I have been assigned the MEC-TEC cameraman temporarily for this particular episode. So
have a look down here, Gary.
Have a look down here.
Steering rack off, top arm is now loose. Dan's just undoing the lower ball joint split pin so we can get that off. Then we're going to take the whole hub off with the top arm on it and hang it over there so it doesn't pull on this flexi line. Right. And then that will allow us to take the sway bar off and the lower arm and the spring out.
Perfect.
Should be good, hopefully. Go up there, Neda. Things we do in the car park, eh?
Shame we didn't park in the sun.
That's right. I'll get you up.
Yeah. So both sides obviously being done today. This is VIN 4130. I've had the car for about 3 years now, and yeah, this is one of the jobs that has been on the to-do list for a while, to get rid of the old moon buggy effect. As you can see, MEC's car is yeah, looking very sexy with his low profile there. I don't think it will be as low as that today, but it will be a vast improvement. So a bit of trouble getting the pivot bolt out at the moment, I think.
It's a split pin at the moment.
Oh, split pin is it? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. 40 years of mank around it. There he goes, yeah.
Ah, success. It's away. Well done.
What size that is? 15 maybe? No, bigger than that. 17. Might be weird.
It's probably all the crud on there that's not making it fit.
18. 18 better. Bang.
Speedo is not working at the moment. I think the dust caps are rounded off.
Is it that or is it the cable just now?
No, because I've put a power drill on it and spun it, and it does move. So it's definitely intact. It's just the dust caps, I think, is rounded off. The hole's gone, rounded.
Bit of chemical metal in the hole, put it back on and leave it.
Yeah, I did try putting some sort of shims of metal in there, sort of hold it tight, but they just unravelled within about a mile or so, and it gave up. It needs a new one, really. But another job for another day. Like every DeLorean owner, there's just job after job after job.
Never ended, is it, mate?
It is never ended. Right, we'll sign off for a second and come back.
Right, making good progress here. As you can see, the anti-roll bar is off on the floor. The hub and top arm is sitting up there, perched on the edge of the chassis effectively. We've got the steering rack undone, which you saw earlier, and we are going to get the lower arm and the spring out now, which is the bits we're actually changing, and obviously the shock. Now the way we're hopefully going to do this is by getting a jack underneath this lower arm, and we're going to take that pivot bolt out the back there and pull the arm out away from the chassis and then turn it so that it won't hit the chassis, and then that will allow us to undo the top bolt on the shock and lower it down on the jack, and obviously that will, so we won't have to faff around with spring compressors on the old springs then. We'll only have to worry about spring compressors on the new one. That is the plan. So we'll come back to you once we've had a little go at this and see what, if one of us has got a black eye in a minute, you know it all went horribly wrong. See you in a minute. So we're trying to do this the yeehaw way a bit by having a jack under the lower arm, and we're going to undo the top bolt on the shock, and hopefully, as long as it doesn't all go horribly wrong, we can lower this whole lot down without using spring compressors, and it will gradually lower the spring down and we can take the whole lot out in one go. We don't know if it's going to work or not. We have got spring compressors with us, but obviously it's a little bit quicker if we can get this to work and do it this way. So that is the plan. We have got a decent spring compressor here, but we're trying it the yeehaw way first. Don't know.
Yeah, I'll do.
I love electric ratchets. Is it stuck in there now? I ain't gonna go now. There you go. Yes, out. There you go. We decided to use a spring compressor after all, just because we didn't want to get smacked in the face with it. Look at that. What a tool. That's that one out. Bang. Yeah. Right, we need the, what do we need there then? All the new bits?
Yeah, do it. We're straightening that bit of frame out as well.
Can do, yeah. Would you want like a adjustable? Along there.
Let's tweak it down a bit, yeah. I'll go and grab the new arm then. Alright.
A bit of tweakage. Didn't want to drive us home today, did you, Gary?
No, I'm good.
What's happened? Nothing, it's fine. I was just being a plum. Yeah, well, there you go. Boxed in, by Dan, all welded, powder coated. Got new bushes in there as well.
Joints.
New bushes, new ball
newish
joints.
bushes.
Yeah. Nice job that.
That's alright.
That's going to go on there with the new springs, new shocks, and we've got new rubbers as well for the top.
What, for the top of the spring?
Top of the spring, got new ones of those, yeah.
Have we? Oh, okay, cool.
So that's the comparison, new to old on the springs. You can see the height difference. It's quite a marked difference, so hopefully it will stop this looking like a Hilux. That's the plan anyway. So Dan's just putting the new lower arm in there. We're going to get the spring compressor on the new spring obviously this time. Well, we used it on the old one as well. And we'll get that in there, get it back in the cup in the top of the chassis there. We've got a new rubber cup to go on the top of it as well in there. And then we can compress it all back up again. And it all should be absolutely marvellous. Make sure you get the Delorean Europe logo up the right way though, because otherwise that's going to be really annoying. You can't have that the wrong way.
Where's the nut end?
Makes it so easy, doesn't it? I like this spring compressor. It's a lot better than the old windy ones that you get clear. Right. Material should come in. No, it's there. New rubber.
On the paintwork.
On the paintwork. Kind of pedestrian, Richard.
Go a bit more on it.
A bit more. Wind it up a bit more. Winding me up. Ka-doing! They're safe, they are.
Frame first.
Yeah. Doing it? Surely. Right.
Oh yeah, you know.
Is the compressor hitting the frame now? Oh no.
Oh yeah, so
More, do you reckon? You can tweak that over.
slightly more, a little bit.
He's in. It's a rubber on the top here. Right.
So we put the shock in before we let it go, don't we?
Yeah.
It's going to be full.
We've got a new shock as well.
The shock's in.
Gary, a little update for you. As you can see, I took it all back off again. We had a bit of problem getting the shock in the bottom mount here because the arm was slightly too tight for the shock. So we had to take it back off again, and now we've had success and got it through there. So we're going to get it bolted back on again, and then hopefully carry on from where we was about an hour ago. Right, there we go. Shock, spring and new lower arm are now on. Dan's just nipping up the bolts for now. We're going to do them up properly once the car's back on the ground so that all the bushes and everything are in the right place. So next job now is going to get that hub and top arm back on again, get the steering arm back on the knuckle, and then lower it. Well no, then we'll do the other side and then we'll lower it down and tighten everything up. Let's carry on. There we go everybody. That side is back on there, complete. Obviously we haven't put the stabiliser bar back on yet because we've still got to do the other side, but that is one side all back together. So we're going to set up the other side and do it all again. Woohoo! Right, here we go. We've done a photo of all the cars in a line. So I just thought I'd just give you a walk through with them. And you'll be pleased to know that Gary's car made it to our lunch at Arbuckles. There's my car on the right. We always go down to Arbuckles for lunch, and that's about, I don't know, 25-minute drive. And it made it there, no problem at all. And it drives really nice now. Not bumpy or wobbly anymore. So that is absolutely superb. Got a really good turnout of cars today, as you can see. So that is absolutely mega. Coming up to Gary's car on the left. Now sitting at a nice ride height. We'll show you that in a minute. So there you go, that is a full lineup of cars. We've got one other one over the back of the car park. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome sight to see. I'll get right back so Mr. JRG's car gets in it as well. There we go. Absolutely superb. I know you've seen me at the Delorean meet quite a few times, but it's always good to see. It's always a spectacle. So I'll come back to you in a minute and we are going to do another height comparison between Gary's car and my car and show you exactly the difference we've made by putting the lowering springs and that on. I'll come back to you in a little while. Right, there we go, that is the comparison after the lowering springs. Now as I said, my one is, or has always been, particularly low, but you can see there now we could get a full fist in there before. Now it's just about 2 fingers, so that is just about right. So it's absolutely superb. Make your own jokes about that. There you go. Gary said that it feels a lot better when he's driving it and it doesn't wobble around all over the place anymore. So that is job done. We're going to actually get the car back up in the air and just go over everything again, make sure we've bolted everything up properly, make sure everything's tight, and then it should be awesome. Top banana. Right, we have been and had both wheels back off again. As you can see under there, we've got lovely new shiny lower control arms, springs, shocks, the top rubber mounts, and new anti-roll bar bushes as well. You can see the same that side. You would have seen this side in the time lapse there. Everything was still nice and tight after we drove it down to our buckles and back. As I say, it's about a 15-20 minute drive, maybe 25 minutes, so there's a good test for it and it all seems absolutely fine. So that is job done. Lovely jubbly. Right, just thought I would show you this. This is the DeLorean from National Geographic Channel, which had custom interior done on it, as you can see. And on the show, it was actually wrapped in black grained vinyl, the same as this. And you can see that in the camera. But it was all over. It was, the whole thing was black grain and it had different fascias on it. Now, unfortunately, the fascias got taken off and destroyed, but the interior does survive. See, it's got a DMC logo in the roof there. It's kind of cool. And you can see obviously all the blue light up bits and the iPad in the centre console there. It is a really, really nice looking thing. That's the people who did it, Alpha Auto Concepts. It's got a DMC logo in the headrest there with a light up blue neon in there, or LED I should say. Blue LEDs under there on the knee pad as well, and in the armrest. Really, really good thing. Really unusual, never seen one like it. If you ever get a chance, or you can look it up online, look at the National Geographic DeLorean and you'll see this car obviously going through its stages of being done on there. This is the first time we've seen it at the meet, so it's a really nice thing. Right then, that is going to be it for this episode on MEC-TEC. We have successfully completed our mission of sorting out Gary's car. All the front suspension was replaced, as you saw, and it is now driving a lot better and it looks a lot better as well. It doesn't look like a 4x4 anymore, so that is always a bonus. As you can see, we're back in the garage. The DeLorean's just had a well-deserved wash before it gets put away for the winter. So we're all good on that side of things, and so is the Capri as well, because that's going to be staying up here probably over winter now as well. Need the garage space at home because I've got other projects on the go, as you well know, and I have got something else coming to the channel, as I said at the end of the last episode. It's quite special. It's now in my garage at home, so there should be something for you all to look forward to. If you do like what you see, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and ring the little notification bell to tell you every time I upload a video. I have got Instagram, MEC_TEC1985, and I have got Facebook, MEC-TEC, for little sneak peeks during the week of what I'm up to. And all that's left for me to say is, if you want to join me soon for more automotive adventures, I'll see you again next time. Cheers guys.